The next Ben Johnson may already be on the Detroit Lions coaching staff. Let's talk about it. Hi, it's Mike Payton from A to Z Sports Detroit. Today we're going to talk about why the next Ben Johnson might already be on the Lions coaching staff. First off, as you know, Ben Johnson has been the Lions offensive coordinator for the last 3 seasons, was a huge part of this team's rebuild, had the offense being one of the top 5 offenses in the NFL. All the stuff that you already know. Obviously, he left, took the Bears head coaching job this offseason, and now the Lions are going to go forward with John Morton as their new offensive coordinator. But here's the thing. While I still believe that Morton is going to be just as good as Johnson in a different sort of way, I don't think there'll be as much trick plays and all that as there has been in the past few years. But I do believe they're going to rely on efficiency and running the ball and doing all the things that they do super well. And I think Morton, who has already said he's not going to change much of that, is going to be very good in his position. With that said, there is still a guy on this coaching staff that is very much like Ben Johnson and actually helped Ben Johnson with a lot of the stuff that he was able to do trick play-wise. That guy is Seth Ryan, the son of former New York Jets head coach Rex Ryan. He's been with the Lions since 2021, since the Dan Campbell regime started. He was the assistant wide receivers coach who turned into the assistant tight ends coach. Very similar plan to what Ben Johnson had done in Miami and early on in Detroit. Went from receivers coach to tight ends coach. Super similar. The reason why we say Seth Ryan helped out Ben Johnson a lot is because Ben Johnson said that Seth Ryan helped out Ben Johnson a lot. Last season, Ben Johnson took the time to highlight 3 of his position coaches and talk about how they were in charge of a lot of the specials that the Lions put on during the season. That was Seth Ryan, assistant wide receivers coach, assistant quarterbacks coach JT Barrett, who actually went to Chicago with Ben Johnson, and assistant offensive line coach Steve Oliver, who is also still here. Ryan was a big part of getting some of these things together, getting the receivers in place, putting these specials, these trick plays into the playbook, installing them, getting players ready to do it. He had a lot of contributions as well, and that's another thing to bring up that Morton has actually said at the Combine, talked about how the coaching staff is going to be all about contributions and collaboration, and they're going to be taking, something from this guy or from that guy. This is where Seth Ryan can really make his name, just like Ben Johnson once really made his name when Dan Campbell was heading up the play call. Johnson was helping putting plays in. That's how Johnson became an offensive coordinator. Now, the road might be a little longer for Seth Ryan, but if he can continue to get his name out there and put these plays in and collaborate, you're looking at a guy who could be an offensive coordinator at some point. And maybe that's for the Lions. I don't know. Maybe that's for another team. But this is a guy whose name you got to watch because he could be that next guy, that next big offensive guru who can come up with all sorts of cool trick plays. Just don't think that the Lions are just done with that. And I think Seth Ryan is going to be a big part of why they aren't.